Cheers.
Indeed. I'm being lame on you today. It's just coffee in here.
That's a better move than what I'm doing, so I respect that. I need.
Before we do any of that, because I do want to know what's in there. How we all doing? Miguel Rodriguez here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen, and I have a couple of really wonderful people in house today. And I see we are live, so everything is working. If you guys do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe, and do me a favor, tag somebody so they also know that we're here, because that always helps. It's nice. It's a nice touch. It's nice for you guys to do some work for us. Well, I digress.
No, that's good. That's good.
You all know Autumn already. She has been a staple now for a little bit, and we hope to keep it that way. But you may not have seen this beautiful gentleman's face. Eric, brother, how you been?
I'm fantastic. It's nice to meet you guys online on Miguel's channel.
She's got hers now too. I gave her a portion of it. She's forced to stay now.
On their channel. I'll let them fight over ownership rights, but on their channel.
You are on my team, though. Yes,
I am absolutely.
She's definitely prettier than me.
A loyal man.
Brother, can you do me a favor and give these guys an introduction to what you do, sir?
Yeah, so I'm the senior sales activation manager for a company headquartered in Connecticut called Deutsch Family Wine and Spirits. It's a German American owned company on the East Coast. We're a global wine and spirits manufacturer and importer, and so we make and own brands of wine and spirits around the world. Some fantastic brands that many of you know of, maybe some that you don't. We have everything from we were the company that started Yellowtail with the Casella family in Australia. We own Josh Wine, which many of you are probably familiar with. The fantastic, very affordable but very high quality wine label out of California. We own Josh Cellars, and that was started by Joseph Carr with our company in partnership. And we also own many other great wines, as well as a full line of fantastic spirits out there. Some of our spirits out there that some of you may have seen out in grocery stores or in restaurants, bars, and clubs. We own Graywell Gin and Vodka, which is, I would argue, the best American-made gin and vodka in the United States. Our vodka is 90% corn, 10% California grapes, and no sugar added, no additives. It's a very clean vodka. I would say it blows Grey Goose and Belvedere out of the water, personally. It is not only a great vodka, but even better than that for all of you that are especially in California or on coastal states. We partner with the Surfrider Foundation, so we give proceeds from the sales back to supporting beach cleanup, protecting whale migration, habitats, and anything to do with marine biology and ocean conservation. And that's both for our gin and our vodka. Our gin, our Graywell gin, all the botanicals in the gin are from California, which is pretty awesome. So for those of you, once again, that are Cali boys and girls, it's definitely something to be proud of. It is a phenomenal, clean, easy drinking gin, both neat and obviously in cocktails. And cocktails is usually the way that we present that. And then we own 2 whiskey lines. We have Redemption Whiskey, which I have in the bag today, and I'm just going to show the bottles a little bit later. We also have Bibb and Tucker, which is a small batch, very high quality premium bourbon out of Tennessee. Our master blender and distiller for our spirits line is Alan Kennedy, who is a artisan and a master at what he does. He doesn't just create products to sell. When he does his blending, he's blending based on emotions and thoughts and experiences. So he really goes for creating a product that really changes people's lives and makes them think of things that are very meaningful to them. And I've spent time with Alan in the market. He is a true master at what he does. He's an incredible man. So yeah, we have that. We also have a phenomenal tequila line, which is no additive. It is a Highland the Highlands region, so it's the Los Altos region of Jalisco, volcanic soil based agave tequila called Cantera Negra, and we have a beautiful Blanco, Reposado, Añejo, Extra Añejo, and we also have, I would argue, the best coffee liqueur in the world. It's tequila based. It does have rum in it, and it is Cantera Negra Cafe. So yeah, we have a lot of other wines. I won't shoot your guys' ear off today, but that's what I do. So I cover 2 states, Washington and Northern Idaho, for this company. I work with the distributors, which sell our products to the clients, and I do everything from events, sponsorships, partnerships, to education and activating accounts through events around these 2 states to promote our brands in the on-premise world. So I don't do retail anymore. I used to for other companies, but I do all restaurants, bars, clubs, and venues in Washington and Idaho for these brands. So that's what I do. Travel a lot and work a lot, but it's a fantastic company. Very proud to be with.
I love that, and I love hearing about it because it sounds like the passion that we talk about, for the cigar industry stuff carries over there very well. These artisan products that it may be everywhere, but it takes that special moment back where you talk, like when you mentioned the Highlands of Jalisco. We were just talking about tequila before you came in. Both tequila drinkers, both mezcal lovers, and the amount of effort that goes into these products, I feel gets lost sometimes. They are to enjoy, but to savor and to appreciate them, and it's just on a different level. And this is why we love to have these conversations. You know?
Yes.
And I'm so sorry, guys. Real quick, I am smoking the El Baton from JC Newman. Thank you for the sponsorship, guys. This is a 50-year-old blend that they brought back just a couple years ago. It is more of their budget-friendly cigar, but it's still one of my favorites out of the lineup. In the torpedo size, wonderful stuff. Autumn, today you are smoking the Mr. Desperado from Sinistro. Don't tell Jeremy because we don't want to get any credit for that, but he did a great job with that blend. It is the Desperado Connecticut over oh my goodness, African Cameroon binder, Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Colombian fillers. So it's a very complex cigar. Shouldn't be too heavy. Still trying to ease you into it, promise. But some wonderful stuff. And then Eric from our last sponsor for today's show. And I want to make sure I get this blend correct because it is a beautiful cigar as well. That is Apostate Cigars. That is their box press Zahara Mia, which I know I'm pronouncing wrong. But that is going to be their broadleaf Pennsylvania over a Cameroon, an African Cameroon binder as well, and Dominican and Mexican fillers.
And shout out to Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon again. I just talked to him today. They're killing it still. Trying to get him to go to an AFI concert with me. I didn't realize he has a tattoo of the lead singer on his arm.
Brandon's been here where we are at Sacred Smoke in Marysville, Washington. Phenomenal cigar lounge. So a plug for my buddy Jeremy Wolfson and his business here. It's an incredible lounge. And Brandon's been out here and met me before. We've had lots of talks about the wine and liquor business and what he does in the cigar world. And Apostate's wonderful. So I look forward to getting to that shortly. I'm finishing up. Don't tell Jeremy this either. I'm finishing up an AJ stick, but it was in the car. It needed to be smoked.
Hey, they taste good. Don't want to waste anything. Waste not one.
Yeah, and I got nothing wrong with an AJ stick from time to time. So there's some really good AJ products out there, but I will be smoking that Apostate shortly, which will be absolutely lovely.
Wonderful stuff. Love hearing that. And then before we get too far, guys, it's just coffee today. I apologize for that. But we do have one alcoholic beverage on the table.
So this is an old fashioned that I had the lovely bartender Haley make. This is with my company's Bib & Tucker bourbon, which I don't have in the bag in front of me, but you can look it up online. Bib and Simple Tucker, Tucker, out of Tennessee, and this is the 6-year bourbon that we have in this cocktail for an old fashioned. It's fantastic. We have the 6-year here at Sacred Smoke. We also have the Gold Roast, which involves coffee beans, which is lovely. It's still a high proof whiskey. It's not a liqueur. It's not sugar added, but you get beautiful notes of coffee in that bourbon. It makes really, really nice drinks. You can actually do a take on an espresso martini and flip that in there instead of vodka or tequila, and it is wonderful. We have some other expressions of Bib & Tucker as well that have been here or will be here soon.
I love, and I've had that exact cocktail before. Phenomenal. I love Bib & Tucker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was the Agnorsa event, the collaboration night. Yes, that was such a great night, and for how busy as I was, the fact I got to try a little bit. Oh my goodness, it was a momentous moment for me because I got to try it for the first time.
Well, and like you said, that event was amazing. So we did Aganorsa. Jeremy did a beautiful presentation. Jeremy Wolfson did a beautiful presentation of Aganorsa. And then I brought in the full core line of Bib & Tucker, had a full presentation on that as well. And this lounge, which you guys can't see the whole lounge right now from the camera, but for those of you that have not been up here, if you come up to Seattle, you got to come up here. This is a very large cigar lounge. It's the largest one in the state for square footage. It's also the largest humidor in the state. I would say by selection and by square footage. When you come in here, there's a lot of places to sit, and on that event night, there wasn't a single seat open. It was completely slammed, and Jeremy and I do a good job, but neither of us would call ourselves a celebrity. And
I felt
it
like
looked
you
like
guys
there
were
was a
celebrity.
celebrity here. Yeah, it looked like there was a celebrity. Jeremy might disagree with me, but if we're both being honest, neither of us are former NBA players or NFL stars or something like that. Certainly not with this body, but the turnout, you would have thought there was some famous person here because we just had so many great regulars as well as new customers that came in for that. And the event was personalized down to the food pairings with the whiskey and the cigars. So it was quite a special experience. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So, where you are at right now, where were the beginnings for you? Like, when did you first decide you wanted to go into this kind of work?
Two of them get a good story that probably neither of them have heard before, even though we all live in the same area, right? Um, I'll make it brief because you guys have already heard me talk way too much, and hearing from Miguel, and it's Autumn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hearing from Miguel and Autumn will be far more pleasant than me, but um, I started in the liquor industry, liquor and wine industry in 2021. I started collecting high-end wine and spirits really when I turned 22. So a long time before that, I got into collecting wine and spirits because of my passion and love of cigars and how they pair so well together, as well as my passion for like finding great culinary experiences and combining them all together with hospitality and entertainment. So I got involved in kind of studying and collecting things years and years and years ago. But as far as getting into the industry side of it as a career, I was with the Boeing company for a number of years in marketing and communications, and Boeing is fantastic. Took very good care of me. I was looking to get into airplane sales, and unfortunately, during COVID, many of you probably can relate to this. A lot of industries were impacted with economic challenges and people not traveling and interest rates going up. And I was at Boeing at the time, but there was no air travel. Air travel was shut down. I was trying to get into the sales team at Boeing, and Boeing was not selling airplanes at that moment for a number of reasons. It was not a very active time for their sales team. So I decided to jump out of Boeing, leave Boeing on good terms and jump out and try to get into some professional sales, white collar sales opportunities. I was looking obviously at pharmaceutical, medical device, and what happened was I ended up finding a distributor sales rep position for Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits, which is the nation's largest distributor of wine and liquor and beer now. And they're headquartered in Miami, Florida, Miramar, Florida, to be precise. But it is the ninth or 10th largest privately owned company in the United States. They're not on the stock market, but they're an amazing company, family owned. And I joined them in 2021 as a retail sales rep. So I sold to grocery stores, independent liquor stores, convenience stores, and I was doing retail sales and cutting my teeth in that world for about a year and a half. And then they promoted me into on-premise sales. So I sold everything that Southern has in their portfolio here in Washington State as a distributor, which is thousands or tens of thousands of SKUs. It's huge. Lots of different famous brands, small brands, wine, liquor, you name it. Non-alcoholic products, mixers, cocktail garnishes. I mean, it's a pretty robust portfolio that Southern has. And I ran about a multi-million dollar revenue on-premise territory for about 3 years at Southern. And then last year, I got promoted to a portfolio manager position. So what I did is I supported the sales reps, my former colleagues on the same teams I was on, and I worked with them and their managers to help hit sales numbers for two suppliers that Southern has. Southern has, like I said, many suppliers, but two of the big ones are Diageo, which you guys are probably familiar with. They own Kettle One, Johnny Walker, Bullet Whiskey, many big brands. They're headquartered in London, globally. And then the other company I was working with was LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which many of you are familiar is both a fashion company and a lifestyle company with a lot of other products that they own, including Dom Perignon Champagne, Belvedere Vodka, Woodville Whiskey here in Washington State, which is actually part of Moet Hennessy's portfolio. Uh, Hennessy Cognac. I love Hennessy. a plug for Hennessy. I will give them that. So I was doing that for about a year, and then last November, after about 5 years with Southern Blazers here in Washington, that's when Deutsche Family Wine and Spirits, which is one of Southern's suppliers, one of the manufacturers, like Diageo, like Hennessy, Deutsche approached me, and I had been selling their products as a sales rep for years, and they approached me with the senior sales manager role, and I joined the Deutsche team in November of this last year, and now I covered, like I said, I covered two slates. So it was an interesting thing. I got into it through a combination of wanting to get into sales professionally, but also I think the other piece of it too was when I was looking for making my sales jump out of Boeing, I was also wanting to make sure that whatever I did for sales was a bit tied to entertainment industries and hospitality because I'm also a musician professionally, and I have run music festivals and worked in music production companies and perform music and so forth. And so because of my background in the music business, and I'm still involved in a lot of those things as well, I wanted something that related to the music industry that was in that general entertainment and hospitality segment. And going into the liquor and wine world was a good fit because I was passionate about the products. I'm a cigar guy, I'm a music guy, and it all relates to each other. And that's, I think, something that many of you listening probably have similar stories with. A lot of people don't look at their career as being relatable to other people's careers, and that is a huge, huge mistake. Everything's interconnected. Everything. There's crossover and collaboration opportunities in so many industries that people don't realize. Once you open your eyes to that, you think more broadly and creatively about it. The possibilities are endless. And so that's how I got into this side. And funny enough, as I've moved up through this industry, now I'm working more with musicians at events. I'm working with corporations like Boeing or Amazon or uh, Microsoft and things like that because I might be doing an event, I'm running a whiskey at a hotel or at a club, and guess who's bought out the hotel for the night? A company like Amazon and Boeing, right? And so there's a lot of crossover, and people don't realize that if you can seize that, there's a ton of opportunity.
I love that because that's a really great way to think. I'm glad you thought about that at the very beginning as well. Because honestly, if I mean, it's kind of the opposite for me. The cigar stuff, I did not expect that to pair with the filmmaking stuff. I was just wanting something that I could control, what we're doing right now. And then when I realized, well, these skills are kind of needed across the board. You still need to promote, you still need to market. People,
Absolutely.
yeah, still want to get their word out there, and you need those people to do it for you. And when I realized I could take the skills that I got from doing event coverage, interviews from people, and apply them to something I'm also passionate about,
Right.
it's a wonderful feeling. And I wish I would have had that mindset at the beginning. Hey, this is a possibility. Let's take it that way. Let's move forward.
But also, I mean, to your credit, Miguel, like it's not a race with each other. I mean, everyone finds their path, and like you're very young. I mean, all of us here are young relative to many people out there that are probably looking at us and going, "Oh, these people are young in their careers," which is a good thing. But obviously, that we all have lots to learn, and we're lifelong learners. But the thing that's funny about it is you're young and you've already connected your film background, your passion for video content and media production with what you're doing here at Sacred Smoke, what you're doing with your channel here, which you guys know he's been doing for years, and has quite a great following thanks to all of you. And so you're already doing right, which is beautiful. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, sometimes it's not obvious. It doesn't matter when it's a matter of that you do at some point make that connection of finding how you collaborate because there's so much opportunity. And on you probably, I mean, you probably have examples of that in your life.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it's hard timing and it's hard. Sometimes for other people, it's just, I love to see other people shine because I have a few
Yeah.
long-term friends as well back home that are just doing really good, just building and just growing. Just,
That is a good point. Yeah, I do have those moments where it might not be something I'm passionate about, but I love seeing people who work towards what they are passionate.
100%. And got to be, I think, one thing in everything that we do, regardless of what industry you're in, you got to root for other people's success. Because even if you're struggling or you haven't made it where you want to be yet, this is not about just the individual. Like I love watching my friends or Miguel or anyone out there succeed and what they're doing, even if it has nothing to do with what I'm doing initially, because their success and being part of that and rooting for them and supporting them, that karma comes back around when you're trying to do your stuff. And when everyone's supporting each other and wishing the best for each other and actually encouraging each other to pursue their passions and their careers, everyone benefits, everyone wins. A lot of people, there's a lot of insecurity out there, a lot of jealousy, a lot of people, oh, I don't want to see this person make it because I wish I was there. That is a waste of energy. It's toxicity, it's negativity. You got to get all that out of there. It's if someone else is winning in your friend group or a childhood friend of yours, all of a sudden becomes famous, you should be very happy for them. And if you're there as the same quality friend as you were from the day one that you started with them, that means even more because it shows that you're not phased by a change in someone's wealth or status. You're loyal to people because you're a good person, because you have the ethical and moral foundation to back somebody up. That's huge.
Right.
Yeah,
Even in small, obviously much smaller than the spirits industry, cigars, it's really wonderful to see someone else succeed, even if they're doing the exact same thing I'm doing.
it was wonderful.
I've always felt that, it's kind of cliche, but that expression, all the tide rises all ships.
Yeah,
If
rising tide lifts all boats.
There we go. That's the problem.
That's the phrase.
Yeah, and I love that because it's true. If one person is doing well, there's enough room for us all to do well.
100%. And yeah, and there's a lot of people. I mean, if we're being very candid, there's a lot of people out there in all industries that they don't like what they do, or they don't really have a desire to push it to the next level, and that's okay. That's their choice. But it's especially important if you're an ambitious person or you have creative ideas and goals in your life, like both of these fun people, that if you're going to go for something, support each other because the average person out there in the world is a good person. The average person, however, is not necessarily going to have the same level of ambition or goals that maybe you do. And so when you meet people that do have similar goals, even if it's not the same industry or same idea, that's a select group of people that are going to support each other because you guys are going to go through, and trust me, to this day I go through it. You go through the ups and downs. A lot of people come up to me and they go, "Oh my gosh, your job is so sexy. You're throwing parties. You're with so and so. You get to do all these cool things." Yeah, sometimes it is. What people don't realize is in my industry, just like cigars or anything else, sometimes it is an absolute grind. People don't see the 80-hour work weeks. They don't see the driving through 2.5, 3 hours of traffic just to get one little thing done. They don't see all that. They just see what's on social media. They just see a snapshot of someone's careers. And the reality is, if you want to be great at anything, there is no magic formula other than grind. Grind, learn, be open to new ideas, be humble, and support your fellow hustlers because they're going through the same thing you are or similar things. And if they go through something different than you and you haven't been through it, someday you're probably going to go through it. And their experience and their wisdom is going to help you get through that. And that's huge. That's huge.
Now,
And it's like turning into a Tony Robbins seminar. Sorry.
but it's true. People want to hear this. Come on, it's true. I love this is the kind of conversation I like to have because at the end of the day, everyone needs on their passion.
Yeah.
And I think if more people were focused on what they're passionate about, everything that's good. It doesn't have to be something grandiose. You don't have to become world famous cello player to enjoy to play it and to have your own niche in that one.
And if you don't mind me adding to this real quick, along the lines of what Miguel just said, you don't even have to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm very pro entrepreneurship, and I have run my own nonprofit business before. I'm still involved in entrepreneurial endeavors. Obviously, business owners, especially when they're pushing the envelope of a new product or service, they're the people that end up, usually doing some pretty big things. And being your own boss it's a huge privilege and a huge blessing. It is also a huge responsibility. And a lot of people get into it thinking, "Oh, I'm my own boss. I'm free," and they don't realize how much goes into it. It is the hardest thing. I would argue the hardest thing you can do career-wise is starting your own business. I don't care what industry you're in. It is extremely challenging. It is very rewarding, but it will test every limit of who you are. But I will say that for those listening that are like, "Well, I'm not really necessarily interested in owning my own company, but I do have ideas within a job that I currently have with another company as an employee," you can apply these same principles as an employee of a company and have huge impact and get promoted and make more money and really enjoy your career, because people who think outside the box and learn how to apply it to their current situation, no matter what job you have, no matter where you are in your career, no matter what your resume looks like, those people are the people that get ahead, because they take even the smallest opportunity and say, I'm going to show up to work every day, and I'm not just going to do my job, I'm going to find ways to make my job shine. And I'll give you an example. Um, I did an event last night at Marriott in Bellevue, Washington, in a wonderful hotel, amazing staff. Last week, I was preparing for this event with the hotel team. I pulled up to the hotel to meet with a bunch of the management, and I pull into valet parking, and the valet attendant comes out to my car. And I'm not kidding you. This guy that was my valet driver, it was the best service I've ever received at a valet in my life. We're not even talking, it's a nice hotel, it's a beautiful hotel, but we're not talking about, the most expensive hotel in the world. We're not talking about some destination resort in a exotic, island somewhere. This is a Marriott in the United States, and the valet driver or the valet attendant that was there, I went to his management, and they were confused while I approached them in the middle of the day, and I said, I'm sending all of you an email to tell you how much this guy is phenomenal, because he takes his job so seriously, but he cares so much about the customers and every little detail of how he interacts with them when they walk in that hotel. People like that, they will naturally progress and move upward, and they will have great opportunities because they take what they have and they make the most of it.
Oh, truly.
And so it's a great example. And that's not knocking being in a valet position. It's not saying a valet job is a perfectly, legit, respectable, honest, good job for someone to be working. It's just obviously I'm sure that the gentleman that helped me, that may not be his lifelong goal to stay on that role. But the fact that he was showing up to work and treating people like it was family coming in the door, you don't see that everywhere. You don't see that every day. And when you do see it, we all need to celebrate it, because those people are going to go places. Even if they came from nothing or they didn't have any support, no education, they will get it. Because people who are hungry, who reach out for help and get support from other mentors and good people, they're going to rise. And so that was just a little interaction I had the other day that it stuck with me. And I sent an email to his manager for that reason. I said, you gotta mentor this guy, because he is incredible. So
And it probably made his day too, right there.
It
To
did.
know that the work that he's doing, putting his whole self into it, is recognized and appreciated. Those moments are worth just as much as the paycheck sometimes.
exactly. And you don't know when you're working a job like that where you're gonna make an impact on somebody. And I've heard stories of this happen all the time, where someone's working a role like that. They were so good that one of the customers ends up approaching them
Mike,
for a
not
job.
live right now, brother.
Now you are witnessing a nice high definition visual of Michael Jacobson's butt.
He's got a great shirt.
He's good though. He's one of our regular great customers. That's Mike Jacobson there. There he
Sorry
is.
about that.
No, you're fine.
All
You're
right,
fine.
brother. Yeah.
But good to see you, Mike.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a regular here at the lounge. Sacred Smoke, once again, Sacred Smoke.
Since across the country, the lounges are very simple. The good lounges, the ones where you walk in and you feel like family already. There's a limo mic in every state.
There
I'm
is.
very glad. I want to meet every one of them.
Yeah, there is. And this lounge has a very loyal, regular clientele. We have people of all walks of life, all, faiths and ethnic backgrounds, all ages, obviously, 21 and up, but all age ranges that are cigar fans and cigar enthusiasts, men and women. We have people of all economic levels. We have people that work in a very diverse number of industries that come in here. We have people that you wouldn't even know that walk in this door that are very influential in their industries. And we have people that come in here that they travel across the country and they do commercial trucking for a living, and they come in at night and they're looking for a smoke and a great cocktail to relax, which you can't blame them, because that is a really important and very taxing job. It's very exhausting. And they're amazing. And what happens is, the trucker who comes in at night sits next to a guy that does financial planning and does investment management or is a contractor for a construction company. And all of a sudden, these beautiful friendships and relationships build that end up really benefiting everyone because people are investing in each other. It's a community.
Yes, yes. To that networking aspect, you can just again meet someone here that you would never expect to talk to anywhere else. I think cigars has been one of the best ways, not just network, but to meet people for friendships and relationships throughout life. And I still talk to people from across this country because we sat down and had started.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful thing, and that's why we do these things because I hope you guys are out there connecting with each other as well as us. You don't get that in a lot of other spaces.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very much a rare. Not that it's better than anywhere else. I'm not saying that, but I think it's a very unique experience where you have a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to sit with someone and just relax. I'm told golf is also that way, good for networking, but I'm very terrible at golf, so I'm gonna get better at it. I'm working on that.
Golf and cigars, and golf is so hard. I'm terrible at it as well, but golf and cigars have that in common. It's one of the reasons they go well together, but even separate of each other. Golf courses, there's etiquette. People don't have their phones out. Technology's great. It can also hinder us from building genuine relationships. I think we all know that. And so when you are, there's no distractions from your phone and you are on a golf course for 4 hours, whether it's with business clients or just friends, it's incredible the conversations and bonding time that you have with those people. It can change the world, literally. And the same thing with cigars. Come sit down and have a cigar with great people. Next, you don't even realize how quickly it happened, but you're helping each other's businesses, you're going to each other's events, you're doing volunteer work in the community, you're supporting charities. Next thing you know, you're involved in all these things just because you got the time to sit down and really have a conversation with somebody.
1,000%. Yeah.
Put yourself out there to just be open to and people have open mind and
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because you could come into anywhere and just kind of hang out and not talk to anyone. You have to have a little more of an extrovert personality once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I do it all the time, but
Absolutely.
I do like meeting new people. This is one of the best places to do so.
It is. That's one of the beauties of cigars and why we're all.
Real quick, guys, just to remind you, whoever's watching, this is the El Baton from J.C. Newman. We've got, I'm going to mess up the name again, but I'm going to try my best. Brandon, why'd you just do this to me? The number 6, the Zara Helma. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And the Mr. Desperado from Sinistro. That is the cigars on the docket today.
And Brandon, just a quick note, since I am with Deutsch. And by the way, guys, I know I came on the show with a really ratchet black undershirt, although at least I got my gold on. I do have my Sergio Tacchini track pants on. I was going to wear the full red tracksuit. The track jacket is at one of my clients' places when I left to come here. So I'm kind of dressed a little bit less put together than I was hoping. Although plug to Sergio Tacchini, they're great, and plug to my K-Swiss, a throwback. Love K-Swiss, love Sergio Tacchini. And moral of the story is, Brandon from Apostate, we got to do an event with my stuff, with my brands and your cigars. We can do multiple events. We got to work together on that. You do amazing work. You have a great relationship with Jeremy. You have a great relationship with, from the times that you've met me in person. So let's make that happen. It'll be amazing.
We will absolutely make that happen because we got to get both out here.
Yeah, we can have Miguel film it all and do a production.
Yeah, exactly. It all works together. Now, before we get too far in, which we have got pretty far, would you like to show off a couple of items in the bag?
Yeah, so just I'll make this quick, just because obviously I can't open them since we're in a lounge, obviously, and just due to legality. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of one of our whiskey brands. So, and you guys can find this in stores all around the country. So I have 2 bottles here. There's 3 base tier bottles of Redemption whiskey here. This is one of the 2 whiskey lines that my company owns. And Redemption, it's a fantastic bourbon, high rye bourbon, and rye. that we finish up in Kentucky. And these are 92 proof whiskeys, 4 to 4.5 year age statements. Redemption's been around a long time. You guys will probably see the old label of Redemption out there still. This is the new bottle. It's much prettier, beautiful labels. An eagle etched in the glass, carrying a grain in its mouth. It's kind of the symbol of the rebirth of this brand. Redemption is a workhorse. The price point on these bottles is going to be different per state. But I will tell you this, it's price competitive and in many cases is less expensive than, some of the big staples that we all like Elijah Craig, Maker's Mark, Not Creed, things like that. These are pre-prohibition style whiskeys. The straight bourbon is 75% corn. To be a bourbon, you have to be 51% corn in the mash bill. We can go into the details of that another time, but just to keep it simple for now, we do everything with intention for quality and for maximum flavor and best impact for the price. So this is an incredible straight bourbon at a very, very reasonable price. And it's also aged twice as long as what is required to be a bourbon. So it's a fantastic bourbon. It's great neat. It's great in cocktails. And then the high rye bourbon, which you see here, this blue label, this is a bourbon, but it has a significantly higher rye content in the mash bill. So there's 36% rye in this. So what's really nice about this, if you guys like rye whiskeys and you like bourbons, this whiskey right here makes phenomenal cocktails because you get the blend of the sweetness of bourbon with the spice and pepper of a rye. It's very well balanced. It's very full-bodied in flavor. I think I already said this, but all of our 3 baseline Redemption whiskeys are 92 proof, so they're also higher proof than standard whiskeys, which are about 80 proof. So we're talking about higher alcohol content. You might be thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to burn more. Actually, quite the opposite. When you drink our whiskeys, they're extremely smooth. They're very, very balanced. The flavor profile is very rich and very flavorful and very smooth on the palate. They're very easy drinking. And part of the reason we actually increased the proof on the Redemption core SKUs that I'm talking about right now is because we wanted to create something that was more flavorful and had more impact, and surprise people with the fact that just because there's a higher proof doesn't mean the whiskey is going to be hot or burn or hurt when you drink it. So you can find Redemption in your stores and in your restaurants and bars around the United States. Like I said, this is the new packaging and it's new juice in the bottle. This is not the old Redemption. The old Redemption was good. This is, I would argue, many levels above that. And we're very, very proud of the rebirth of the brand. It's been out for years and years, but this rebirth of this brand launched this year. So you will see it in Total Wines and in BevMo's and in grocery stores and in bars and restaurants around the U.S. You can look it up online in your local stores and your local accounts and see where it is. If you have not tasted it, you should absolutely check it out because the product is one of the best bang for your bucks in the whiskey business in the United States. And I say that very sincerely. Used to sell hundreds and hundreds of different brands of bourbons and ryes and different whiskeys out there. And this has really stood on its own as a very respected and quality product. So we're all about creating quality without saying, oh, you can't afford it, right?
I appreciate it.
Quality doesn't need to kill your wallet. That's something I always like to tell people. Well, a great bottle of wine, a great bottle of spirits doesn't need to, require you to go to Money Tree. You're not going to need to go to Money Tree with this. So that is what I want to say about that.
We're gonna have to do a recorded episode and do a little pairing with each of those. Match a cigar,
Yeah.
bottle. It's gonna have to happen.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for that. And we're gonna wrap it in a minute, guys, just because we are at 8 o'clock right now. But next time we get you on, we gotta get some tequila for this one. Sooner or later, I'll get you this week.
Yeah.
And I'm also. You've seen me drink tequila. It's not an uncommon thing.
No, absolutely.
And just for one question out of the comments here, it's available in Texas, yes?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so our company every year has like an annual convention. We hold it at a resort at a state or destination area, and our company gets together for a week and talks business and also parties and celebrates our hard work and our superstars in our company, which I am not by any means one of those. I'm just head down working hard. But this year we had our annual company meeting in Orlando, Florida, and the reason I bring this up, I spent the whole week networking and drinking, ironically, with all the different state sales teams, like the one I'm on here in Washington, Idaho. And I actually was with the Texas team.
Nice.
So Texas team is fantastic. They're doing hard work down there in Texas. They're working really hard. It's a wonderful state. We do a lot of business down there. You will absolutely find redemption down there.
That is good to know. I'm glad to find it here. I'm gonna get these bottles. We're gonna do this again, brother.
Thank you, Miguel. Absolutely. And thank you all.
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you call it, guys? Thank you so much for watching with us. I will have the recorded out for you for the Spotify channel. So if you want to listen or watch there instead, because we have a busy life, I understand, but it will be there for you. Guys, anything to let them know before we let them go?
Yeah, it's great. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll do more.
All right, people. Give them a wave goodbye, and we're out.